Welcome back to another comic book video. We're going to start out with our favorite comics of the week, then do our number ones, and then quickly go through the stuff we have been reading. So, my favorite comics for this week were two number ones and then one that is not a number one. So the two number ones that were my favorite from this week were Ram God. It's a new massive title. It combines like futuristic sports with bank robbery. So at the beginning, there's this crew that robs this bank, and then it goes to the Ram God, which is like the big sport here, their tournament. And it's basically a mixture of racing, climbing, and fighting. And it's fantastic. The artwork is great. I'm not going to spoil the big thing in here, but all I'm going to say is you should give Ram God a shot. Really good book. I enjoyed it thoroughly. You should pick it up. And then we have the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles start, number 1 by Jason Aaron. I love this. In this one, Raph is in prison trying to help the warden root out corruption in the prison. And the warden is the only person that knows he's there to help. Everybody else thinks he's a criminal. And so he's there, and then the Foot Clan comes in and kills the warden and takes all the documents that shows Raph is just there to help. So Raph is now going to escape prison and be on the run as a fugitive. And he's trying to find his brothers before the Foot Clan gets to them. Fantastic first issue of this. I loved it, and I'm sure a lot of other people will too. Our other one you should pick up this week is the new Rook Exodus. I've talked about Rook a few times on here. It's one of my favorite comics. It's my favorite comic by Ghost Machine. I absolutely loved it. Loved this issue. I'm not going to ruin any of it because you should definitely just check it out. The artwork's fantastic. The writing is awesome. And there's nothing else to say. Pick up Rook Exodus if you don't pick up anything else. I think they're on like the 5th print with the first issue. It's wild. Our other number ones we got this week were the new Berserker, Face Full of Bullets. Really cool comic. This one's written by Jason Aaron, who I love. With Keanu Reeves created the character. It's basically John Wick as a god. This one is Western themed. Fantastic story, as always with the Berserker comics. I love them. If you have the money, I would definitely pick up this first issue. I pick up all the Berserker titles. I love the character. Yeah. I mean, I kickstarted Berserker before it was even a comic, so I'm excited for it. And the Netflix show comes out at the end of the year, that's basically the comic in anime form. Love it. Then we have Peach Momoko's cover of Hello Darkness, number 1. This one is a bunch of short stories set in the Boom universe. There's Something is Killing the Children one, and a bunch of horror stories. Fantastic writing. A lot of different writers in this one. At the end, it's called This Is War, and it's part 1, written by Garth Ennis. They're talking about the world ending, and then London gets wiped off the map. Love it. It's like Creep. It's a bunch of short stories in one comic, and you should definitely pick it up as well. Then we have the Absolute Power Origins, one of the Absolute Power ties in, and it's basically why Amanda Waller is what she is, and it's a lot of her backstory and how she became so dictatorish. And then we have the new Dark's Soul Side, number 1, by Valiant. Really good comic. I don't know much about the Darks, other than their main villains in the Valiant universe. Then we have the Eternal Warriors, Last Ride of the Immortals. with the Anpati family in Western times. A lot of Western themes this week. The new Nemesis by Mark Miller, Rogue Gallery #1. Continuing on the story of Nemesis. I think it continues from the Big Game series. Because in this one he's broken and then he gets his movement back. Sorry. And then we have the new Flash Gordon #1 by Mad Cave. I actually really enjoyed this. I don't know much about the Flash Gordon other than Sam Jones and what happened in Ted 1. I never saw Flash Gordon growing up. It was a little bit before my time. But the comic was actually really good. I enjoyed it. Then we have Spawn Kills Every Spawn, issue 1. It's a comedic spin-off on the Spawn series. Hilarious artwork. It's only $2.99. If there's any cheap comic I'll pick up this week, it's this. It's over the top silly, and I just enjoyed it all around. Then we have the Valentine's Bluffs Massacre, a horror comic by American Mythology. It was great. I loved it. They're filming a horror movie in the town, and then the killer strikes again. And it was just bloody and beautiful, and I enjoyed it. Last #1 we have is The Big Burn by Distillery, #1. And this one, a duo of thieves sell their soul to the devil to escape being caught, and then try to find out how to get their souls back, because they realize their soul is their passion for living. Like, they don't have any drive anymore after selling their soul to the devil. And the main guy finds a bunch of other people who have sold their souls, and he's getting them together to rob hell and get their souls back. Because hell in this is a casino, and all their souls are locked in a vault. So it's pretty cool story. Now, quickly go through the ones we have been reading, because we don't have much time. I got a lot of comics this week. The Creature from the Black Lagoon, issue 4. Fantastic end to the story. I loved it. Dan Waters did a really good job. Then we have Feral, chapter 5. This one was so sad. Made me tear up a little bit. As always, Feral is a fantastic story. Then we have the new Deadpool Wolverine World War III, issue 3, movie variant cover. Really good tie-in to the Deadpool Wolverine universe. And Deadpool's growing off Wolverine's back in this one. Hilarious. The new Conan. Love Conan. I get every Conan they put out. The new Vengeance of the Moon Knight #7. Alien variant cover. When the Blood Has Dried, issue 4 by Mad Cave. This one's actually started to pick up, and it's actually really good. After the first issue, I was like, I don't know if I want to continue. I'm glad I did, and I love this series. Finally caught up with Void Rivals. I got issue 11. Fantastic issue. This story has actually picked up a lot since the beginning, and I am loving it. Then we have Absolute Power Task Force 7, 7, issue 2. Great tie-in with Depth Charge taking over Atlantis. Then we have the Green Lantern, issue 14. It's an Absolute Power tie-in about the Arrow family trying to take down Amanda Waller and Ollie. Lastly, we have The Blood and Fire, issue 3 of 3. Finally gets his revenge. Samurai finally gets his revenge. Fantastic end to it. I loved it. But yeah, really cool week of comics. A lot that I got, but appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day.